Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Flosstube channel, The Stitch List. I am Jackie and this is Flosstube number 3. And I just want to go ahead and say we just got walloped by a really bad winter snowstorm. So both my kids are home again today. So if you hear noises in the background, kids running, anything like that, sorry. They're pretty good, but they've been stuck indoors for a few days. So we are going to dive in here in a second, but I just wanted to go over a few things. So first, thank you so much to everyone. I am so blown away by the nice comments, the subscribers, people who have given my channel a shout out. Like, it's just been really lovely to see. My younger daughter especially really loves to see all the stats kind of behind the scenes and all the nice comments. And it's just really nice that she can see so many strangers on the internet leaving nice comments about her mom. You know, it's really lovely. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly never expected any of this. And now the second thing I want to talk about, I have been reading every single one of your comments. I'm sorry if I haven't responded to you. It's a little overwhelming, believe it or not. But I am reading them. I'm listening to your feedback. So one of the things I'm going to do is try and have, going forward, all my cross stitch right in the beginning and get through that. And then at the end, kind of do my yapping and kind of talk about, life and anything else I'm doing. And so that way, if you are just here to see my cross stitch projects and updates, you can watch that and then feel free to turn me off. Cause I know there's a lot of, floss tubers out there. There's some really wonderful creators and people have limited time. So no offense taken if you choose just to view the cross stitch portion of this. So, we are going to get into it. And so this week I did participate in the 24 hours of cross stitch. This is an event that was created and organized by Jen Lee at Quirks and Stitches. But before I go into that, I do want to go over a few of my other whips that I did prior to that. All right, so the first project we are going to go over is Abundance of Fruit. And this is the Heaven and Earth 2026 stitch along, and this is artwork by Severin Rosen, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Design. It's been quite a bit cropped down from the original, and I am doing this on 22 count Aida 2/1. And this week I got 648 stitches in. Here is what it looked like before also. So that brings me to a total of 1,702 stitches out of 47,397 for 3.63%. And here is my progress. So as you can see, I worked a lot in this area. And then also a lot with the reds. And I just love those reds. So I think this is going to be pulled out again every week. I think I'm going to have to at least get, 500 stitches on it, because my goal is to do 6-page finish. But I'm going to keep going towards the reds because it's just really enjoyable to stitch. It's a lot of block stitching there too. Like, it's not as confetti. And I just think it looks so good. And it's kind of the center of the piece. So that way I can get that done and then work all the way around. All right. Next up, I am going to, usually I try and save these for last, but I'm going to switch it up and do them now. So I have a couple goals for this year, just to try and get motivated and kind of experience new things. And so one of those things is that I want to get back into running. And I have created a whip, or I have a whip. It is called Mountain Wildflowers, and this is by the artist is Roseberry Sunset, and it is from Sweet Violet Stitch Co. on Etsy. And basically what I am doing with this is I'm taking my average steps for the week And then I am dropping the final digit. So for example, this past week that I stitched, I had done an average of 2,904 steps. So I am stitching 290 stitches on it. So here's what it looked like before. And here is what it looks like now. So I mostly did the pinks here and then added some of the green and the black. I stitched a lot of black this weekend though, so I started filling in this black area here and I just needed a break of color. And I will say, it is so hard to stop stitching at my stitch count, but I've been really good. Exactly 290 stitches were put into this. I'm super motivated to get my step average up just so I can stitch more. So actually for this coming week, my average stitch count from January 18th to January 24th was 4,085. So I actually owe this piece now 408 stitches. So I've improved quite a bit. I'm very pleased with that and I'm going to keep going. But I love this piece. It's so beautiful and it's stitching. I don't know if I said I'm doing this on 25 count 1/1 full cross. And it's just stitching up so beautifully. Really nice. So, all right, then my next thing I am doing is I'm creating a lot of goals for myself. So I have a Google Doc that, has a list of all kinds of different things I want to accomplish this year just to help my family, get out of the house and kind of achieve our goals. So, this past week, I had to stitch because we went sledding. So I'm going to insert here me crossing off that list. And you will see, I'm not sure if this is one of them, but if there's a star next to it, it means it's something I can do more than once. I most likely will do more than once. And I'm just going to keep track of that by adding a red heart next to the item. But we went sledding with friends last week, so I owed this piece 500 stitches, and this piece is Spring Castle, and it's by Shelby Gipp, charted by Sweet Violet Stitch Co. again off of Etsy. I'm doing this on 22 count Aida 2/1 full cross, and I added 500 stitches this week, and you can see. So I added basically from here all of this. And one of the things is my goal is to stitch across the entire piece because somewhere around here is where the castle starts. And since this is so much blue, I think being able to stitch between like the castle, I might work my way down so I can hit the flowers. Just give me some options. So. And now for this week, we actually went on Saturday. One of my goals is to visit more independent bookstores. I love books. I love supporting small business. So in Andover, Massachusetts is the oldest continuously owned bookstore in America. I think that's what it is. But I took a little video clip of our time there and I'm going to insert that now. And it was such a cute store. It's a small space, very quaint. It's more of a curated list of books. You're not going to find every book there. They can order anything you want, but they have a really cute children's area. And then I walked to the back and I was met with the most beautiful wall of yarn. I really debated on getting some, but I don't have a project planned or anything, so I didn't want to just buy yarn just to have. And then one of the cool things they do is they actually can stamp your book with their stamp, and the stamp says Andover Books 1809, and it's just kind of a way to remember your time there. So my daughter's book was a little bit smaller than the other books that we purchased, and she got a special stamp that was so cute. And I purchased Little Woman because I am hoping to take my girls or I want to read the book with them, watch the movie, and then take them to Orchard House and see where Louisa May Alcott lived. So that's the book I decided to get. It's a really beautiful copy. So because of that, now I owe 500 stitches on this piece for this coming week. So probably just going to keep moving across the top with that. Those are like my 3 pieces that, sorry, I'm trying to keep myself organized because I have a lot of whips here. All right. I didn't give stats. Did I give stats for? So actually, let me back up. For Mountain Wildflower, my steps piece, I put in 515. No, that's not right. Let's start again. I'm really frazzled today. I don't know if you can tell. My kids have been home from school for 2 days. We've had so much snow, which I'll go over in a little bit. So I'm kind of all over the place. So bear with me. Mountain Wildflower is my steps piece. And I put in 290 steps for that, which brings me to a total of 805 stitches out of 312,500, which is 0.26%. Spring Castle is my piece for my goals. And so I put another 500 stitches to that, which brought me to 1,000. And that is 1,000 stitches out of 252,900, which brings me to 4.4%. So now I participated in 24 hours of cross stitch, knowing I was not going to get all 24 hours in, but I absolutely wanted to try. I've always wanted to do this. I learned a lot about myself during this, particularly that maybe I don't really love the pressure, but I think I stitched more than I would have otherwise. I had such a busy weekend, like insane. And I'll go over all of that after. But right now I will insert the clip I took when I first started and all the clips of me stitching right here. Hello everyone. Today is Friday, January 23rd, and it is about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And it is 24 hours of cross stitch weekend. And I'm very excited. I've always wanted to do this. I do need to film this part very fast. I've had a super busy day. So like most of America, we are about to get slammed with a really bad snowstorm. My town always seems to be like on this line of bad to not bad. Like we're always right on that line. So right now they are predicting anywhere between 10 to 24 inches of snow. And for my non-American viewers who use the metric system, that is about 50 centimeters at the maximum. So like half a meter of snow. So I have spent my entire morning grocery shopping, which was quite a bit of a nightmare, doing laundry. You might hear my washing machine right now, actually. It's going. I have been charging our power packs. I mean, I'm not too worried about us losing power, but you never know with that much snow. I actually just got out of the shower because I shoveled our walkway and driveway to be as clear as possible. So it's easier to then snow blow and shovel when the snow comes. So getting started a bit late on this. I also have a really busy night and day tomorrow. So the chances of me getting a full 24 hours in is very unlikely, but I've always wanted to participate in this. And so I thought, you know what, let me just try. Let me go for it. If I get 10 hours in, great. If I only get 5 hours in, great. I do think on Sunday, because we will be snowed in, that's when the snow is supposed to start Sunday morning, I will be able to get a lot of stitching in Sunday. We have no plans. Our kids are just going to be allowed on their tablets and we'll watch probably a movie as a family, but like I won't need to do any errands or grocery shop or anything. So I wanted to go over before I get started the 4 projects I plan on working on this weekend. These are not the only projects I will be working on this week, but these are the 4 I'm going to focus on for 24 hours of cross stitch. The first project I plan on working on this weekend is called Fruits Plenty, and it is by Modern Folk Embroidery. I am doing this on an 18 count Aida 2/1, and I am using 2 DMC colors, 221 and 223. I think 221 is the darker color, 223 is the lighter one. But I am starting, this was a new start for January, just like 2 weeks ago. And I am starting with 1,072 stitches out of 47,397 at 2.26%. So this is where I am. So my plan is to, this is like, I have it the wrong way. One moment. All right. So my plan is to keep working on this fruit bowl motif that's right here. And then I would really like to either come across or go down. And so don't really have a stitch goal for this weekend. My plan is to try and get in more like time. So like try and get in like 3 to 4 hours on each piece. And then if I have more time after, I'll just kind of start again and rotate. So that is Fruits Aplenty. All right, my next one is going to be Azul, and this is by Margaret Morales, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Design, and it's on a 22 count Aida 2/1. And I have not worked on this year. This was a newer start. I think it was my dad's birthday in December. I started this. So as of right now, I have 2,000 stitches in out of 261,900 for a percentage of 0.76%. And here is where I am. I like keeping it tight. I'm going to go back in and try and fill in any of these boxed stitches right here. And just kind of keep working this way and maybe down. So that is Azul. All right, next up is one of my favorites. It's going to be Traveling Library, and that's a very hard word for me to say for some reason. And this is by Amy Stewart, and it is charted by Heaven Earth Design. I'm doing this on 22 count fabric, 2/1, and it is very thick, but I love the feeling of it being a tapestry. And for this one, I so far have put in 16,417 stitches out of 401,500 for a percent of 4.09. And here she is. So as you can see, I had a Nerge hoop. Oops, sorry, there's so many, this fabric frays. And so I did do the zigzag line. I'm hoping it stops the fraying, but there's still quite a lot. So just kind of push that out of the way. I had this in a Nerge hoop. I started doing like the first 4 pages. I'm nervous I cut my fabric wrong because I just have these like paranoid dreams at night, like stitching nightmares, I guess. So I did my last stitchy session. I started working across the top. Think I'm going to keep going that way. I might not go much farther until I fill in a little more of this, because I do like if you look in this corner here, how nice this is. It's so nice that there's just a few loose stitches. Like this is all filled in. So I might keep moving this way, but kind of come back and move and fill in this area here. So this is Traveling Library. All right. And then my final project I plan to really put a lot of love into this weekend is 6 Portals by Rose Catherine Kahn, charted by Pain Free Crafts. It is a beast of a project. I'm doing it on 25 count Easy Grid Zweigart that I got from Hirschner's. And I am doing this 1/1 full cross. This is where I am. So as you can see, I was pretty strict last year about staying in Portal 1. But last stitchy session last week, I started moving towards Portal 2. I'm hoping I can get to Portal 3 this weekend. And part of that is because this fabric has been a bit of a nightmare for me. It's cut crooked, and I didn't even think about it because I just assumed a gridded fabric would be cut evenly along a grid line, but it is not. It's quite slanted. And I have another piece that I just recently used, and it's the same way. So if you are using a gridded fabric, do not assume it's cut evenly. And it's really my own fault. I don't blame the manufacturer. I should have looked, but you can see I have 3.5 squares for a margin on portal 1. By the time I get to portal 6, I will have about 1.5 squares. So quite a few people, I can't remember exact names because there was like 2 or 3 people were like, just count and make sure that it fits on the fabric since it is pre-gridded. So I did. And as long as my counting was accurate, it should fit. But I do want to have access to all 6 portals. And that is because I got a little bored near the end of last year just stitching on portal 1. I mean, you can kind of see I started going really rogue, like kind of all over. So I just want options. I want to be able to, stitch on the more like summery, I'll put the picture here, more like summery ocean one in the summer. And I want to be able to do more of like the fall one, portal, which is actually portal 1. And then, I love portal number 6, that dark purple is beautiful. So I just want to be able to move around. So I'm going to keep going across the top. And that is my plan for that this weekend. So that's what everything looks like before I get started. Like I said, I will try to include clips. Okay, so I am officially ready to start 24 hours of cross stitch, and up first I am going to do fruits of plenty. So let me just start, and here we go. All right, so it is just after 10 o'clock here, and I have put in over 4 hours, and that was with me leaving. I had to bring my daughter to dance and then pick her up, bring her home, and then we had a kickoff party for her dance competition season. So I did not get to stitch very much today and this afternoon, but I'm pretty pleased with 4 hours. So I'm going to pick up again tomorrow. I will say I could stitch this project the entire weekend. I love it so much. It's stitching up so beautifully. But I do think I'm going to put it away now. I've put several hundred stitches into it. And I could keep going. I truly love it. So I will check back in tomorrow and see how many more hours I can get in and how many more stitches. It is now Saturday, January 24th, and it's about 7:40 at night, and I'm just getting to stitching. I had a super busy day. Both my girls had Girl Scout cookie booths, and then we went out to dinner with my mother-in-law. So I'm going to try and get at least an hour in tonight. If not, that's okay, but I'm going to begin right now. Okay, I am filming at kind of a weird angle right now because my cat is leaning against me, and obviously I'm not going to disturb her. So I just finished stitching for the night, and I realized I did not say which project I was working on. So I pulled out Azul by Margaret Morales, and I got in a little more than 2 hours of stitching, which I'm absolutely pleased with because I am so tired, like very tired. So I thought for sure I would get an hour in and call it a night. So in total so far, I've done almost 6.5 hours of stitching this weekend, which has been pretty good for how busy I've been. Tomorrow, my plan is to stitch all day long. So I'm going to call it a night. It's a little after 10 p.m. here, and I'm quite tired. So I will see you in the morning. All right, today is Sunday, January 25th, and it's about almost 9 a.m. in the morning. We have not had the snow start yet, but it is coming. So we are pretty much hunkered down. I am starting the third day of 24 hours of cross stitch, going to start on traveling library, which is my favorite. And I ended the night at about 6.5 hours of stitching. So we're going to start and see what I can get to today. All right, it's just about 11 o'clock and the snow has started. It's kind of hard to see, but it is beautiful. So I will try and keep updates throughout the day. All right, it is now about 1:37 and it is starting to really come down. My girls are actually outside playing in the backyard. It's very cold, but it does look beautiful and it does look and feel very peaceful. All right, it is about 4:30 right now and I have put in about 4 hours on traveling library. And to be honest, it's been a bit difficult. So I'm going to switch projects now and get in some work on 6 portals. There is no way I'm going to make it to 24 hours. So we are going to try and hit at least 14 hours. So 4 more hours of this. We're watching the Patriots game. It's really fun. We're going to cook dinner and I am probably going to have to help my husband shovel a bit, but hopefully I can get 4 more hours. Shoveling snow right now. It is so bad, but we're going to the Super Bowl. Go Patriots. Gotta shovel all these stairs. All right, it is now about 10:20 on Sunday night and I am done. I did a total of 14 hours, 14 minutes, and 42 seconds. I'm very pleased with that. So it was a really busy weekend. The snow today kind of threw us for a loop more than I realized. I have to go out and actually help my husband shovel again right now, which is why I'm calling it a night. But overall, I thought the 24 hours of cross stitch was a success. And I actually think I got more stitches in this weekend than I would have otherwise. I really pushed and was motivated more so than I usually am. So that concludes this. And I'm going to now probably throw it back to future Jackie, who will show you all of the stitch counts and what I accomplished this weekend. Okay, so I am now going to go over what I accomplished for 24 hours of cross stitch and how many stitches I took. So I am not going to go over too many stats because I did give you some beforehand, but I will tell you like what percentage I got up to and how many stitches I put in. So for Fruits of Plenty, let me just get it on my board so you can really see it. I was able to put in, here's what it looked like before. Here's what it looks like now. I'm a hot mess today. I'm just, you know what? We're going to go with it. So I put in 648 stitches for a total that brought me to 3.63%. And this is DMC 221 for the dark color here and 223 for the lighter shade of like raspberry. And I'm going to tell you right now, this piece is my problem piece. Not for the reasons why you think. It's because I don't want to put it down. I could stitch on this forever. It's so beautiful. I'm actually already sad at the idea of finishing this someday. So, I don't know. It's just, I think it gives my brain a nice break. There is a lot more counting, but I think when you look at some of my other pieces, like 6 portals, traveling library, they're so confetti heavy that not having to think about anything more than 2 colors and being able to do like nice groupings of stitching is just so lovely. So I really love it. And I mean, you can kind of see where I worked. So I did work in this fruit basket area here. I added a lot more of the fruit, kind of worked down a little more, did more of the bird. There's like all these little like motifs and stuff. I don't remember which ones I had added this week, but did a bunch of those. So I can't wait to keep stitching on this. I will definitely be pulling this out this week. So there was Fruits of Plenty, and that is by Modern Folk Embroidery. Next is Azul, and she is by Margaret Morales, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. Here's what she looked like before. And here is what she looks like now. So I put in 272 stitches into her, which brought me to 0.87%. And so I did mostly all of this right here. And I think a little bit down this way. But I'm actually super proud of what I did put into her because I worked on her on Saturday, and that was the day both of my daughters had Girl Scout cookie booths, where I'm a Girl Scout leader for both of them. So we were at our local grocery store from like 8:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. And then after that, we went to the Andover bookstore that I showed you before. And then we had dinner with my mother-in-law. So I did not start stitching on her until so late. And I'm just really proud that, you know, almost 300 stitches. I kind of wish I had pushed a little harder and gotten to the 300, but that's okay. I will get there next time. So there is Azul. All right, next up is Traveling Library, by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. And I worked on this one on Sunday when we were in the middle of a really bad snowstorm. So I was able to get in 510 stitches. Here's what it looks like before as well. 510 stitches for a total of 0.22%. And here is where I am. You know what? Hold on, actually. There's so much fabric, and I just found some thread, just stuck to it. So, this is one problem with my projects is they're so big, and I did get like a smaller board to be able to like hold against them. I would need a giant poster board to show this full thing, but I'll just move out of the way. So I did tons of black right up here, a lot of the blue, and then I filled in some of the browns through there. And that's mostly where my 500 stitches came from. 510 stitches. So, yeah, I'm pleased. I'm glad I'm working across the project. It's been really enjoyable. So I'm going to keep going with that. I don't want to be too strict with myself with like staying in one area because I get a little bit bored. All right, and did I say, yes, that, okay. Next up is 6 Portals. This is by Rose Catherine Kahn, charted by Pain Free Crafts. And here's what it looked like before. And here, I can't even use my board for this one because it is so big. I put in 583 stitches, which brought me to 1.18%. And here she is. Hopefully it's all in there. So I am working my way across the top. I'd kind of explained before, I just want access to all the portals so I can stitch on it as I please. So I did, you can see a nice stain there, but I'm not too worried because it is a full coverage piece. So that will get covered, but this piece is tricky because it is so incredibly large. So I did all of this, and then I had stitched on so much black all weekend that I was like, I'm done with black. So I started filling in some of this gold, and then I worked my way across and I hit Portal 3. As soon as I hit Portal 3, I was like, this is so fun again. I was having such a good time, and I filled that all. The colors aren't really, it's not really showcasing enough, but there's like a brownish red and a green in there. And it's really nice. I really enjoyed that. So I got 583 stitches in. I would have kept going, but I stitched this one during the New England Patriots game, which we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not like the biggest sports fan, like more of like a fair weathered sports fan, but I do love the Patriots. My grandfather actually has a connection or had a connection with the original stadium. He was an engineer in Rhode Island back when the stadium was being built. And I think he donated money or something to the original stadium. So my mom grew up loving the Patriots. So therefore I love the Patriots. My husband's a big fan. So it was really great to be able to stitch on this while watching that. But right after that game was over, we had to get out there and like snow blow the driveway, shovel the steps. It was insane how much snow we got. So that was everything I stitched on, including the 24 hours of cross stitch. So for the 24 hours of cross stitch, I was able to put in 2,013 stitches, and that gave me a total for the week of 3,265 stitches. So I would say that's a pretty good week for me. I'm not the fastest of stitchers. A lot of my pieces are heavy confetti, so I'm really pleased with that. And I will say, you know, I had said, I don't know if I loved the pressure of 24 hours of cross stitch, but I do think I got more stitches in this week because of it than I would have otherwise. You know, on Saturday when I got home from dinner with my mother-in-law, I was so tired. I think if I didn't have that pressure of like, oh, you got to get some time in for 24 hours of cross stitch, I probably would have just not stitched. So, and I think I show that again, I'm such a mess. I'm so sorry. I got in about 14 hours of stitching. I'm not sure if I showed that in the clips because I haven't edited those yet. So, about 14 hours, which is, I think, pretty good for how busy everything was this weekend. So, I definitely would do it again. I think that I would only do it again though if I knew I had nothing else going on for the weekend and could just really relax and stitch. So that is everything. Next, we're going to move into plans. Oh, actually, next we are going to update. So I have these charts that I created for myself to keep myself motivated. And I did film myself filling these out last week, but the quality of my filming was very poor and it was very shaky and it made me feel nauseous. So I assumed others would feel nauseous viewing it as well. So I did not put it in my video last week, but I will film myself filling these out right now. I forgot to record, but I did fill in abundance of fruit for this chart so far. I did 462 stitches, so I was able to fill in 4 blocks, plus because I had some left over, I was able to leave some parked over there and fill in 1 extra square. So my next one, the mountain wildflowers, I did 290. 1, 2, and then I can steal from over here and fill in 1 more. For Spring Castle, I did 500. Okay. So next up, Fruits of Plenty, I did 648. So we're going to fill in 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's correct. Fruits of Plenty. I'm going to steal from here and take 30. So that is going to leave me with 20 over here. And I can fill in 1 more. And hopefully my math is correct. I am not the best at math. So next up, Azul. My first time stitching her this year. 272, so we're going to fill in here, and then she'll get 72 over there. Next up is Traveling Library, and I did 510 stitches. 1, 2, and then we'll just bring these over there. So hopefully this makes sense as to how I'm doing this. Each of these circles represents 100 stitches. When I have extra, I just sort of dock them here, and then I can pull from here to be able to complete more of the circles. Next up is 6 portals, and I did 583. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 5, and then I need to do, okay, so then I'm going to steal from here. So we're going to have 28 left, and then I can fill in 1 more. All right, and that is all of them. And I will say it is very satisfying, like being able to see them filled in. All right, so next up, we're going to go over plans for the week. So I'm not going to like pull up my projects and show them. I will do all of that obviously next video, but I'm just going to go over. So for Mountain Wildflowers, which is my steps piece, and I'll put the photos right here so you can see what the finished product looked like. I owe 408 stitches on that one, so that will be done. Spring Castle, which is my goals piece, I owe 500 stitches on that for going to the bookstore, the independent bookstore. And in terms of, I love stitching this piece, so I need to keep crossing things off that list. I'm not sure where I'm going next. One thing, we were supposed to do the ice castles this past weekend and chose not to go because the temperature outside was, it feels like, of negative 13 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is about negative 25 degrees Celsius for any non-Americans. So it was way too cold to go there. So we did not do that. We are supposed to get possibly another massive snowstorm, which I'm like, there's no place for snow around here. So I'm not sure what they're going to do about that. But I don't want to commit to anything in terms of like activities just because the weather's a little unpredictable. So one of the things I was thinking is that one of my goals is to organize every room in my house, and every room I organize will count towards 500. So both of my daughters need their rooms reorganized and cleaned. Mostly my younger daughter, her closet has a lot of sizes and clothes that don't fit her anymore. So I need to do that and reorganize. She has like a vanity mirror I need to set up. So I was thinking of doing that this weekend, and that would count towards 500 stitches. The other thing is I am very close to finishing my first book for the year. And my goal is to read 12 books this year. And every book I finish will count towards 500 stitches. So that's another possibility, is to try and finish my book and get that done. So I'm going to kind of just see. I'm not going to put the pressure on myself to do anything right now. But I do want to keep stitching on that piece. So I need to find something. The other projects I'm going to work on are definitely Fruits of Plenty, because I am absolutely obsessed. And then 6 portals will definitely get some stitching. I did not work on Rapunzel this week, which as I was doing the 24 hours of cross stitch, I sort of realized I could not believe I didn't include her in that, but that's okay. And I'm having a hard time feeling motivated for that piece, even though it's so close to being done. But the charting on it is not great. And it was the first piece I'd ever put into markup, and I definitely did not do it well. So like some of the symbols are messed up. So it's just kind of a nightmare to stitch on sometimes. So I do need to finish it. I want to finish it by my birthday. So I'm going to work on Rapunzel this week. And then I want to work on a Hime by Margaret Morales, because I have not touched that since starting it on New Year's Eve. So we're definitely going to try and work on that. And then the other piece I was thinking of doing is hold on, let me see if I can find it here. The Quilt Sampler by Carolyn Manning Designs. This is mostly block stitching, which is really nice. And the reason I want to pull this one out is because, and I'll talk a little more about this, but my washing machine broke. And so I have to go to the laundromat tomorrow, and we'll probably be stuck there for a few hours. So that would be a really good piece to bring with me because it's mostly just block stitching. So I will definitely pull that out. I don't want to commit too hard to any one piece. I do see so many other floss tubers playing incredible games and having these incredibly detailed, wonderful plans. And I wish and I aspire, I'm not sure, to be more like those kind of stitchers, but I'm just not. I feel very overwhelmed when I'm too stuck and forced to do one thing. So I want to keep it a little bit more open and just stitch, get in as many stitches I can on as many stitches as possible. So this plan section of my videos going forward is going to be just mostly loose plans, unless, you know, my goal pieces, for example, like Mountain Wildflowers, Spring Castle, and even a little bit of my Haid stitch along. Those are kind of guaranteed pieces. And then after that, it's going to be whichever way the wind takes me. I'll just stitch on whatever I feel like. So next up, like I said in the very beginning, I have been reading all your comments, listening to all your feedback, and I was very thankful and surprised by how many people enjoy me yapping. So I now have a new segment called Let's Yap. And in this segment isn't necessarily going to be about cross stitching. You know, I'm sure it'll get tied in somehow, but this is kind of the segment where I can talk about all the other little pieces of life. And one of the things a few people said is that they felt like they were talking to a friend or listening to a friend talk. And I just love that. I want this channel to be something where we can gather, where we can stitch, where you can, you know, listen to me yap away while you're stitching, and just, you know, create kind of a community of people who are like-minded. And that's sort of my absolute goal. So my first Let's Yap item is I attempted to buy Harry Styles pre-sale tickets for his concert, and I didn't get them. I'm so disappointed. I have 2 more chances to buy them in another pre-sale and then also for the general sale. But I was really hoping to go with my daughter and then also just do like a family trip to New York. So fingers crossed. I know I'm too old for Harry Styles. I'm 40. You know, he's like a little baby, but I do just find his music really fun. My daughter loves him. So hopefully I find some luck. His tickets are also outrageously priced. So I can't just buy like any tickets. Like I have a budget here. So hopefully I can get some of the cheaper tickets, but we'll see about that. The other thing is, this week, everything broke, like everything. My dishwasher broke, and I'm one of those people who's like a little thankful for this. I absolutely hated my previous dishwasher. It was like a drawer dishwasher that had 2 drawers stacked. And so it just, you could never fit large pots. It was such a mess. How this relates to stitching, it absolutely has cut into my stitching time, because I have had both my daughters home this week, or for 4 days because of the weekend, and then no school on Monday and Tuesday because of the snow. And they, God bless them, I love them, they go through cups and dishes like I just don't even know. It's absolutely wild. So I've been doing a lot of hand washing, and I'm kind of fed up with that, but we did buy a new one and we got it on sale, which was good. So that will be hopefully installed this week, to give me back a little bit more time to get my stitching in. But along with that, my phone broke. So I'm recording on it right now, but back in October, we attended the Topsfield Fair, which if you had watched my first video, you know one of my goals is to stitch a piece and enter it into the Topsfield Fair this year. So we were there, and we went on a rainy day, which I highly recommend because it's like not crowded at all. We were able to walk through all the barns. It was really wonderful, but it meant there was a lot of puddles everywhere. And my children were getting their face painted and some like the henna tattoos. And I don't know what happened, but I dropped my phone in a bucket of rainwater. And God bless my husband. He literally just reached his hand in and got it. Like, I was so thankful for that. But ever since then, I've been having a hard time with my phone charging. And sure enough, it's not charging again. It just refuses to charge. So I ordered a new phone, and it was surprisingly cheaper for me to get the latest iPhone. So I was able to like get a deal through my carrier. So that will be coming in the next day or two, which is really nice. I think it should improve the filming quality because I know the camera is really nice on that. I am a little concerned about transferring over my charts from markup. I know I need to save each of them individually as a zip, and I'm just hoping I don't screw anything up. So if anyone has any experience with that, please drop me a comment, send me an email, shoot me a message on Instagram. So that is number 2 that broke. Then this morning, I opened a box for my new lamp. I will put the picture here. And as you can see, they did an absolutely horrible job of packaging it, and it's completely shattered. And that was extremely unfortunate. And I mean, I know it's like just a broken lamp. There's a lot of other big things happening in the world right now, but it's just one of those things where it's like, how frustrating, you know, they didn't even try. So I have to return that and get a new one. And in the process of it, I cut my finger really bad. So it was just kind of a hot mess. So that was number 3 broken. Number 4, I went to go do laundry earlier, and my washing machine latch for the door broke, which has happened before. I don't know. I have an Electrolux washing machine. No complaints about it. It's fine. It's great, except the locking mechanism on the door, like every 6 months breaks. And it's an easy part to fix. It's inexpensive. It's like $15 to get the part. My husband has already replaced it twice or maybe 3 times now. So it's like not that big of a deal, but it does take about a week to get this part. We do not have a spare one. We used that up last time we fixed it. So I do not have a washing machine right now, and I have a lot of laundry because we got very damp and wet this weekend being out in the snow. So I am going to have to go to the laundromat tomorrow, which is fine. I actually don't mind my laundromat, and they have those big, huge machines. So I'm actually thinking about just bringing all of our bedding with me as well and just getting everything washed at once. But it does mean I'll need to bring some stitching with me. So I think the Carolyn Manning, the quilt sampler will be great for that. But if you're keeping count, that is 4 things in a week that have broken, not been how they're supposed to be. I mean, if you add the Harry Styles situation, that's number 5, like ding against me. But you know what? I'm okay. We're going to keep going. Things are good. The Patriots won. That's a good thing. So that's kind of where I am at with all of that. And now I think that's everything. Oh, I know one more thing. I want to insert the clips of the snowstorm. So I'm in Massachusetts. I'm in sort of like the coastal part of Massachusetts, and like a northern coastal town. And we were in that jackpot zone for snow. So they were predicting about 24 inches. And from Sunday night into Monday, we hit 22 inches, and then it continued to snow a bit on Monday. So I think when it's all said and done, we're up to about 25 inches of snow, which is about half a meter, I think, if I'm doing my conversion correctly. It is so much snow, and it's just, I mean, you'll see in the clips, it was windy. It's a light snow, which is nice, but it does mean that there's like a lot of snow drifts and it's just kind of blowing all over. Downtown of my town, it's like very narrow old streets that were built in like the 1700s, you know? So they're very narrow, tight streets, and the snowbanks are just piled so high. So it was a big reason why my kids didn't have school yesterday and today, because they can't just keep piling snow up. They actually come in with like one of those bucket trucks and take it away because there's just no place to put it. And so with snow coming this weekend, I don't know where we're going to put it, and I'm tired of shoveling. I shoveled the front. So my husband always does the driveway, which I appreciate. And we have like a fire hydrant near us, so he always makes sure that gets, taken care of. And then I do the walkway and the stairs, and I think I did it 4 times within like 48 hours. So it was a lot, but my kids have been playing in it, and that's really fun. It's pretty, I guess. Such like a warm weathered person. I can't wait for spring and summer and I can get back out into my garden. So that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this new segment of Let's Yap. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or message me on Instagram. And I will see you next time. Everyone, take care. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you'd like, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, or feel free to send me an email. And don't forget to like and subscribe.